Hi everyone, my name is Shishir Nigam and welcome to our channel Journey to Freedom, where you can follow along on our journey to financial freedom through the world of Shopify and dropshipping. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you get to know every single time we put out a brand new video. So today I'll be talking about how I got hit by the infamous PayPal hold and what we did to increase our limit by 6 times. So make sure you stay till the end of the video to catch all the tips and make sure that you handle it properly in your own situation if you ever get hit by the PayPal hold. So let's get right into it. So how I increased my PayPal hold by 6 times. So here's the background. On November 28th, 2019 is when I got the infamous email that everybody dreads in the world of dropshipping. I got an email from PayPal saying that some of my money from my sales is now on temporary hold. And in my case, I live in Canada, so I have a Canadian PayPal business account. So I was informed that every single month, my PayPal sales volume will be limited to 136,000 Canadian dollars, and anything above that will be held by PayPal until my orders are successfully fulfilled and I assume received by the customer. And this was a major issue because, as you know, PayPal is the main source for most dropshippers as a way to receive revenue from their customers. In our case, we receive revenues first of all through PayPal and second through Stripe. When people use credit cards, that payment is accepted and processed through Stripe. So roughly 50% of my sales revenue came in through PayPal and 50% through Stripe. So PayPal holding that cash back was a major deal because that revenue is what then I was subsequently using to pay for my Facebook ads and to pay for my suppliers, my cost of goods, and in general to run my ongoing business. So when somebody restricts half of your cash flow, then that's a major problem that you have to deal with. Now, here's the interesting thing. So this happened in November 28, 2019, which if you recall is just a few days before Black Friday. Best timing possible. Now, here's the thing. I'll give you a quick view of what I was doing at that time on my store. So quickly back on our Shopify store here, you can see last year in 2019, in total, we had $840,000 in sales, but specifically in the month of November 2019, in that 1 month alone, we did about $244,000 US in sales. And specifically on the day that I got hit with the hold, a few days, that was the Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend, and over that 4 days time frame, I did $44,000 in sales in 4 days. So really the timing couldn't have been any better for this PayPal hold because I really had to plan for it in terms of how I was able to still spend my Facebook ad expenditure to make sure my ads don't have to stop through the Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend. Now let's get to how I went about addressing the issue. Now here's the thing. The main perspective I'd like to share is I was very aware that I will at some point get hit by a PayPal hold, and I was preparing for it for a long time. Right from when I started my dropshipping store, I was aware that at some point I will be hit by that PayPal hold. I heard from other mentors and YouTubers that it comes to a point where you're averaging about $4,000 to $5,000 in sales. That's usually when PayPal decides to limit you and wants to ask you for more information before releasing those funds back to you. So I had been preparing in some ways, and I'll indicate what those ways are. So make sure you stay till the end and understand what are the ways you can prepare for the day that you may eventually get a PayPal hold on your funds. So here's what I did next. In that same email, there was a link that PayPal provides which says you can request for more money to be available to you sooner. And to do that, you have to provide them with some additional information. Maybe they're looking for some tracking numbers that you have not included. Maybe they're looking for more of your business and corporation information. Maybe they're looking for proof that you're actually shipping the products. So this can vary depending on how you have been managing your relationship with PayPal. So in my case, I had been uploading PayPal tracking numbers right from day one. And I think that was a major factor in me being able to resolve this issue fairly quickly. So the first thing I did when I got this notification that my money was being held is I put in a request through the official channel in PayPal to have my limit increased. And then I was told that it can take up to 3 business days to get back to you on the status of your request. Now, I didn't hear back from them for about a week or so, I believe. That's when cash flow management became the key for me, because I had to assume that they were going to hold my money for a long time to come. That's what I'd heard from many other dropshippers, that PayPal is not the easiest to deal with, even though the cash flow may be very crucial to your running of the business operations. So my assumption was that I'm not getting this money back anytime soon. Any excess sales that I had above the limit that they prescribed on a monthly basis would be held by them. So my whole idea was that I'm going to plan for this. I will project my cash flows out to understand where I'm going to need cash at what point, and how can I recover my money from PayPal, from Stripe, and from other sources to make sure I'm still able to pay off my expenses until I start getting my cash back from PayPal. So PayPal had advised me that the money will be held up until the time that my products are fulfilled. So that could be any time. I wasn't sure if that meant products, they would release the money when I ship the products, or will they release the money when the customer receives the products, because that itself takes 2 to 3 weeks on my store. So there's a lot of variables. So the main thing I tried to do in preparation when I got that notice was, first of all, I requested my supplier for alternative methods that I could pay them for the cost of goods. Because before this, I was paying them through PayPal. So my revenues would come in from PayPal, and I would also fulfill, or rather I would pay the invoices for my suppliers through PayPal as well. So I requested my supplier to ask them, hey, is there any other way that I can pay off for my cost of goods? Could I put them on my credit card? So I worked out a solution with them that I could try doing that in the case where I did not have enough funds available freely in my PayPal account to pay off my cost of goods. Secondly, I also managed the credit limit on my credit card very carefully. So that's where I would advise you to increase your credit card limit to whatever is reasonably possible and financially sound. That will allow you more flexibility in situations like this, so that you're not always maxing out your credit card limit in the running of your business expenses. Then the other thing, as I mentioned, was I tried to forecast 1 or 2 weeks in advance and understand how my cash flows are going to be affecting me. What is my expected Facebook ads expense for the next 2 weeks on a day-to-day basis? What is my expected cost of goods going to be? What is my expected revenue on each of the next few weeks? And then on each of those days, how do those numbers relate? How much money do I have coming in from Stripe? When does it hit my bank account? How much excess cash flow do I have left at the end of the day or week to pay off my Facebook ads expense? When do I need to pay off my credit card? Because that will require payment in about 30 days from the time that I'm charging expenses to it. So when does the billing cycle end? When do I need to have the cash liquid on hand to be able to clear my credit card payments? So all of those things had to be factored into account. What kind of money transfers do I need to be doing to make sure that the money is in the right place, in the right account to be making the payments? So I tried to forecast all that ahead of time before I got hit with that PayPal hold. Now, here's what PayPal came back with. And this is the really surprising part, which I was impressed with myself. PayPal increased my limit on a monthly basis to nearly 900,000 Canadian dollars in sales per month, which means that they will not hold any of my sales revenue that is less than $900,000 per month. And then that limit gets reset every single month. So that provides me a lot more room now to be able to expand and grow without having to worry about the PayPal hold limit again. And to be honest, I was surprised myself that PayPal came back to me with this fairly quickly. In about 1.5 weeks' time, they had increased the limit and they released all of the money that had already been held previously immediately. So there was nothing held back from them once they increase the limit. And the key thing that I took away from that is I have to be very careful going forward to make sure that I upload my tracking numbers very consistently. And that's one of the main preparation tips that I would advise all of you to follow, whether or not you've been hit with the hold or not, whether or not you're new in the business or you're old in the business. Make sure you're uploading your PayPal tracking numbers from day one in the dropshipping business. Because here's the thing, PayPal can make or break your business. Simple as that. So you really have to understand what's at stake here. Typically, PayPal will institute the hold on your sales volumes when you start processing about $4,000 to $5,000 a day in sales with PayPal alone. So not on Shopify as a whole, but with PayPal alone. So in my case, I was processing about maybe $10,000 in sales per day across Shopify, but that was split about 50-50 between PayPal and Stripe. So at least in my experience, that's when I got hit with a limit. So understand that from day one, you want to try to upload your tracking numbers so that PayPal understands that you are a reliable supplier. You are providing them proof that you're actually shipping the products for which the customers are paying you. Now you can do this in a variety of ways. There are many apps that you can use to automate the process of uploading tracking numbers. And yes, there's a cost involved to that. Or secondly, you can have outsourced help do it for you. And that is the route that I took. I have a customer service agent, virtual assistant that I employ. And one of their jobs is to upload PayPal tracking numbers on my behalf to make sure that whenever I fulfill an order, the tracking number gets uploaded to PayPal as well. Secondly, in preparation, make sure that you have ample credit limits on your business credit cards. Do it reasonably, not, don't go to the point where it's, financially irresponsible, but make sure that you have as much flexibility as you can create for yourself so that when the situation does arrive, you are prepared for the eventuality. And like I said, it's all about the planning. So plan ahead of time, be ready for the hold. Don't think of it as, is it going to happen to me? No, it will happen to you. So just be ready. It's more a question of when, not if. So I hope you got some value out of that. And if you did, make sure you subscribe to our channel again, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for the next video.